Let me ask you a question. What if I told you that just 1 hour a day, 60 minutes, could completely change the course of your life? Would you believe it? Most people don't. Why? Because they've been told a lie. They think real change requires miracles. They think success needs endless hours, luck, or privilege. But the truth is, it doesn't. It starts with 1 hour. Just one. 1 hour of focus, 1 hour of discipline, 1 hour where you choose to work on yourself instead of watching others live their lives. Most people stay busy, but very few actually grow. They scroll, they rush, they repeat the same cycle. They don't pause, they don't reflect, and because they don't reflect, they don't change. But you, if you're still here, you're different. You're looking for more, you're ready, and today, we'll talk about the single hour that can reshape your habits, your finances, your relationships, and even your legacy. Because success is never an accident, it's the result of daily choices. And here's the good news: you don't need a new year, you don't need approval, and you don't need a lucky break. You only need 1 hour a day. Let's begin. How you start your day shapes how you live your life. It's not just routine, it's ritual. That first hour is your launchpad, your foundation. Yet most people give it away. They wake up, grab their phones, check messages, scroll through news, and look at what others are doing. But they don't look inward. They don't ask, what do I want today? Who do I need to become? What am I building? If you don't program your mind in that first hour, the world will do it for you. And the world doesn't always care about your best interest. It feeds you noise, drama, distraction. Before you know it, you're reacting instead of creating. That's why you need to reclaim that first hour. Make it yours before the emails, before the scrolling, before the chaos. Wake up earlier, not because it's trendy, but because it works. Use that hour to build yourself. Read 10 pages of a book. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Plan your day, visualize your goals, move your body, drink water, sit in silence, do the things your old self never made time for. Because here's the truth: if you win the first hour, you win the day, and when you win enough days, you win your life. Some will say, I'm not a morning person, but success doesn't ask how you feel. Discipline doesn't wait for motivation. Winners don't jump out of bed with excitement every day. They build habits, they train themselves, and you can too. So tomorrow, make a new agreement with yourself. Before you touch the world, touch your future. Use that first hour not to consume, but to create. Don't just wake up, rise up. Your future isn't waiting at 11 a.m., it's waiting at 6. Take it back, build it strong, and when the day begins, you'll already be ahead mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. You won't just be ready, you'll be powerful. That's where transformation begins. Now that you've taken back the first hour, the next step is to protect it like treasure. Because people will try to take it not with force, but with notifications, small requests, or distractions. Suddenly, your hour is gone, spent on something that builds their life, not yours. This hour is not extra. It's not casual, it's not for leftovers, it is sacred, it is strategic, and if you don't defend it, no one else will. Time is like money, but losing time is worse. You can earn more money, but you'll never get back that hour. So, what do? You set boundaries, you say, this is my hour. No calls, no emails, no scrolling. No interruptions, not because you're rude, but because you're serious. Take it seriously, like a builder values his tools, like a farmer protects his soil. Because if you use this hour well, it will repay you in clarity, skill, results, income, and confidence. But only if you don't waste it. Don't trade gold for crumbs. That's what happens when you say, let me just check this message, just one reply. Before long, you've spent your best hour reacting to the world instead of creating your own. So here's the habit: schedule your hour every night. Label it, fix it, make it non-negotiable. Tell your family, your friends, even yourself, this is your time to grow, think, create, and build. If others don't respect it, teach them by being consistent. Because when you respect your own time, people begin to respect you. The rule is simple. If it doesn't help you grow, it doesn't get your hour. This isn't only about productivity. It's about priorities. It's about saying, my future matters enough to defend it. That first hour is your front line. Guard it carefully. It's the hour that separates the average from the excellent, the wanderer from the leader, the talker from the doer. Guard it today, and you'll thank yourself tomorrow. It's not enough to take the hour, and not enough to protect it. You also need to know what to do with it. That's where many people fail. They're active, always busy, but not always moving in the right direction. Because here's the truth, action without direction leads to frustration. It's like running hard on a treadmill. You sweat, you grind, but you stay in the same place. So, before you dive into your hour, before you start reading, planning, or working, ask yourself a key question. Where am I going? That question changes everything. Without direction, there's no progress. You'll move, but you won't arrive. Direction is the compass. Action is the engine. You need both. Here's how. At the start of your hour, spend 3 minutes getting clear. Ask yourself, what's my goal? What skill am I building? What do I want to improve today? And most importantly, why does it matter to me? Write it down. Don't just keep it in your head, because clarity on paper creates focus in action. Jim Rohn said, reasons come first, answers come second. When you know your reasons, the rest becomes obvious, but skip this step, and you'll waste your focus. Worse, you'll confuse movement with meaning. You'll feel productive, but stay stuck. That's why direction matters more than speed. It doesn't matter how fast you go if you're headed the wrong way. Take time to aim. Take time to align your steps with your goals. A person with direction may walk slower, but they go further. So tomorrow morning, when your hour begins, don't just start working. Start deciding. Decide who you want to become. Decide what matters most. Decide what step brings you closer to your dream. Because direction turns your hour into a mission, and when you live with mission, you step onto a new path, one that leads to real change. If there's one thing life has taught me, it's this. Success isn't just about doing. It's about learning what to do. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. The good news, learning is simple. It's not about school. It's not about expensive programs. It's about one focused hour a day to feed your mind. That hour is your advantage. Your secret edge. While most waste time on distractions, you're building yourself. While others drift, you're developing. And over time, day by day, this learning sets you apart. As Jim Rohn said, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. So what should you learn in that hour? Read books, listen to mentors, study success. Pick up biographies, personal growth, communication, health, wealth, mindset. The things that really move your life forward. The more you learn, the more clearly you see, and the more you see, the better choices you make. This isn't passive. You're not scrolling quotes hoping something sticks. You're intentional. You pick the book, the course, the notebook with purpose. You declare, this is my growth hour. And remember, an hour a day adds up. In 1 year, that's 365 hours. Over 9 full work weeks invested into your own mind. Do this for a year, and you won't recognize yourself. Your words improve, your confidence grows, your thinking sharpens, you solve problems that once seemed impossible. Why? Because you've been stacking wisdom page by page, lesson by lesson, and the best part, no one can take it from you. Skills can be built, confidence can be grown, knowledge compounds, and it all starts with one simple hour. So here's your next step. Pick your materials before your hour starts. Don't leave it to chance. Place 3 books on your desk. Line up the podcast, open the course you've been delaying, and when that hour begins, dive in fully. Because every time you open your mind, you expand your future. The person who learns daily continues to grow. So don't skip this, don't rush it. Turn learning into a habit, and success will become a lifestyle. Let's be clear, learning is powerful, but without action, it's only entertainment. You can read every book, watch every video, listen to every podcast, but if you never apply it, you're not growing. You're only collecting. Real success doesn't come from knowledge, it comes from practice. 1 hour of practice is worth more than 10 hours of theory. Why? Because action is where skill is formed. You don't become a speaker by reading about speeches. You don't get fit by studying workouts. You don't master any skill by sitting on the sidelines. You must step in and do the work. Here's the mistake most people make: they wait. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until they're confident. They wait until things are perfect. But the truth is, confidence doesn't come before action. It comes from action. Every time you practice, you sharpen your ability. Every time you try, you improve. Every time you show up, you grow. So, what does this mean for your hour? It means part of that time must be hands-on. If you're learning writing, then write. If you're learning speaking, then practice aloud. If you're studying business, create the plan, make the pitch, take the call. If you're into design, open the software and start creating. No more waiting, no more endless preparation, just doing. Repetition builds skill, not perfection. You don't need to get it right the first time. You only need to start, then refine, improve, and polish. That's how professionals are made. And here's something important. When you practice daily, you see progress. You can feel it, you can measure it. That builds trust in yourself, and that trust is the true win. Because a person who trusts their own effort cannot be stopped. So here's the challenge. Take what you learned yesterday and apply it today. Even if it's rough, even if it's small, even if it feels awkward, just begin. Because action turns knowledge into power. And 1 hour of bold, focused, imperfect practice can do more for your life than years of only thinking about it. Life doesn't improve just by moving forward. It improves when you pause and look back with intention. Too many people go from one day to the next, one task to the next, without asking a key question: how did I do today? That's where growth happens, not just in the doing, but in the reviewing. Jim Rohn once said, "A life worth living is a life worth recording." To that, I'll add, a life worth recording is a life that keeps improving. So let's simplify this. At the end of your hour, not at the start, not later, not tomorrow, take 5 minutes to reflect. Ask yourself, what did I learn? What did I finish? What was difficult? What will I do better tomorrow? It's not complex, it's just honest, and most people avoid it. Why? Because it forces them to face their habits. It shows whether they're moving forward or standing still. But here's the power of reflection. Reflection creates clarity. Clarity creates improvement, and improvement creates results. Once you've reflected, don't stop there. The next step is refinement. What can be improved? What can be removed? What can be added, adjusted, or simplified? You don't need to rebuild your whole life every week. You just need small, smart changes, step by step. Because excellence isn't one big leap. It's a series of consistent, thoughtful corrections over time. Think of it like this: airplanes are off course 90% of the time, yet they always adjust. And still, they land exactly where they're meant to. Why? Because they reflect, refine, and repeat. That's your formula too. Every hour you invest in yourself, reflect on it, refine it, and repeat it tomorrow just a little better. Do that for a week, you'll feel the change. Do it for a month, others will notice. Do it for a year, your life won't look the same. Those who only learn from experience grow slow. But those who learn from examined experience grow faster, stronger, and wiser. So don't just live life, study it, shape it, raise it, reflect, refine, repeat. That's the path from ordinary to exceptional. 1 hour of health a day keeps the doctor away. Here's what many forget. Your body isn't just transport. It's the engine of your life, and if that engine fails, your dreams don't matter. Your goals don't matter. Even money doesn't matter, because when health breaks, everything slows. The body and mind are linked. You can't think clearly when you're tired. You can't lead when you're weak. You can't create when you're drained. So, what do? We invest 1 hour a day in the most important machine we own, our body. That doesn't mean you must be a bodybuilder or run marathons. But it does mean you must move, breathe, stretch, and sweat. When you respect your health, your energy rises. And when energy rises, results rise with it. Energy is the fuel for success. Want focus, move, want drive. Sweat, want peace, breathe, and it only takes 1 hour. Walk in the morning, stretch, do yoga, lift weights, or simply get sunlight and fresh air. Here's the truth: take care of your body. It's the only home you've got, but beware, neglect starts quietly. Skip a few workouts, eat poorly, sit too long, and slowly the body breaks down. Not suddenly, but little by little, until the cost shows up. On bills, in low energy, in lost chances. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons, so guard the hour. Use it to build your strength, not just skills. Because you can't give your best if you're running on empty. You can't guide others if you can't lift yourself. And you can't live your purpose while managing pain. So today, treat your health like your future depends on it, because it does. 1 hour a day to move, stretch, fuel, and rest, keeping the doctor away and success near. The quiet hour, build wealth in the quiet hour. Here's the truth, wages give you a living, but profits create a fortune, and you don't need 10 hours, a team, or permission. You just need 1 hour, one quiet hour. Most people come home, shut down, and waste it. They scroll, watch, and then wonder why nothing changes. But that quiet hour, right after dinner or before bed, is your chance. It's your space to build something that's yours. Not for your boss, not for a paycheck, but for your future. In that hour, you can launch a side business, learn a skill, write, plan, or create. You don't need an office or perfect setup. You need hunger and 1 hour you don't give away. Results won't show in a day, but the goal is momentum. 1 hour a day, 5 hours a week, 260 hours a year. That's huge. That's a product built, a brand started. A future created. If you guard the hour like treasure, it pays back. Wealth isn't built by wishes. It's built by work, quiet, steady, consistent work when no one is watching. Do it long enough, and one day you'll realize that hour gave you confidence, income, independence. And it all began with one choice, to stop wasting the quiet hour and start using it to build your future. Relationships are built 1 hour at a time. Success without people is empty. A sharp mind, a strong body, and wealth mean little if you have no one to share them with. A good life isn't only built on habits or business, it's built on people, and that requires time, care, and presence. The good news, just like wealth grows in one quiet hour, relationships grow the same way. 1 hour of real talk. 1 hour of listening, not just hearing. 1 hour of putting the phone away and looking someone in the eye. People don't remember your words, they remember how you made them feel, and they feel it when you give time. I'm not asking for 10 hours, just one. Give someone your full presence, your spouse, child, parent, friend, or mentor. Don't just share space, be there. Ask, laugh, share, or even sit quietly together. Presence is powerful. When you do this, trust grows, walls fall, love multiplies, and bonds deepen. It doesn't need big trips or fancy dinners. Just 1 hour of undivided attention. People who master relationships always win long term, because when life's storms come, and they will, money won't comfort you. Success won't hug you, relationships will, so schedule that hour, make it intentional. If you don't, you may end up surrounded by things, but feeling alone. A rich life is measured in memories, not milestones, and memories are built in moments like these. So, when you think of success, don't just build a future, build your people, 1 hour at a time. Stack your hours, stack your future. Success is built one step at a time, but more accurately, 1 hour at a time. 1 hour of discipline. 1 hour of learning, 1 hour of building, 1 hour of health. The problem, most people underestimate 1 hour a day. They think, it's only an hour, what can it do? But here's the math, 1 hour a day is 7 hours a week, more than 300 hours a year. That's 7 full-time weeks. What could you do with 7 weeks focused on growth? Write a book, master a skill, build a business, transform your health, reshape your mindset, or rebuild your life. It doesn't happen in a rush. It happens by stacking hours brick by brick, steady and strong. That's how futures are built. Small habits don't stay small. They expand, multiply, and define who you become. Every hour you show up, you cast a vote for your future. You declare, I'm not waiting on luck. I'm building something that matters. Daily choices build momentum, confidence, and results. Add up the hours and you add progress, and you change identity. You shift from someone who waits to someone who builds. Yes, some days you'll miss, that's human, but don't let one missed hour become a missed week or year. Always return, keep stacking, time will pass anyway, and one day the question won't be, did you dream? It will be, did you use your hours wisely? Stack them, protect them, and one day you'll see you didn't just change habits, you changed your life. It all started with 1 hour of learning, 1 hour of building, 1 hour of reflecting, 1 hour for your health, 1 hour for your future. At first it felt small, almost invisible, like nothing was happening. But day by day, hour by hour, change was happening. You were becoming new, not by accident, but by decision. You don't transform in one leap. You transform one consistent hour at a time. The hour you showed up when it was hard, the hour you chose growth over comfort, the hour you practiced instead of delaying, the hour you loved, listened, created. Those hours rewired your mind, reshaped your habits, rebuilt your confidence. 1 hour at a time, you learned to believe in yourself again. You proved that discipline is not a word, it's a way of life. And you didn't need to change everything, just one thing: how you used your time. That was the turning point. Control 1 hour, and you can control a day. Control a day, and you can shape your future. Success isn't luck, mystery, or magic. It's discipline applied daily, and it doesn't take everything. Just 1 hour every day, without excuses. One day, you'll look in the mirror and see, you didn't just change your schedule, you changed who you are. You became the person who shows up, follows through, lives with purpose, and builds with wisdom. That's the new you. All from 1 hour, so stay consistent, protect the hour, trust the process, because it's not only about how you spend time, it's how you shape your life. Now you've heard it all, the habits, the hours, the truth. What's next? Start today, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is a promise. Today is a choice. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the mood, the new year, Monday, or a perfect moment that never comes. Start now, pick an hour, claim it, guard it, because your future depends on it. You don't need to be great. You don't need all the answers, you just need to show up. Change doesn't happen because you know what to do. Change happens because you do what you know. You already have the map, the steps, the power. Don't leave with only inspiration. Leave activated. Decide right now, what hour will you reclaim? What will you build? Who will you become? Because if you give 1 hour each day to growth, purpose, vision, health, relationships, and your future, 1 year from now, you'll be living a life you once only imagined. So start today, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. 1 hour, one choice, one new you. Let that be your story.